Hello there, guys. I hope you are doing very well today. Guys, well, as you know, last class was a little bit crazy, all right? And I told you that I was going to record a lesson for you. So, basically today, yes, this video, it's about the passive voice. You remember that we were discussing a little bit about what is passive voice in there? And we had Karina's presentation and something happened to Vivi, I remember, well, about my internet connection. So, well, anyway, the idea of today is to talk about the passive voice. And well, I remember that I asked you this question and some of you knew about what is the passive voice. And some of you told me, well, teacher, I don't have any idea about what is the passive voice. Okay, so the idea of this video is to comment about the passive voice. Let's take a look at this, teacher, passive voice. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, first of all, guys, let me tell you that we normally speak in active voice. Okay, teacher, really? Yes. Okay, teacher, and what is the active voice? So take a look. We're gonna read the concept of active voice. Okay, so what is that? Let's take a look. Okay, and then we go to the passive voice. Well, as you can see here, guys, it says, if you think the agent, the one performing the action, okay, the subject of the sentence, is more important than the object of the verb, the one receiving the action, maybe because you want to make someone responsible for something, or you want to emphasize on the subject or the performer or the agent, okay? Maybe because of that, okay, the agent becomes the subject of the sentence. This is called active voice. Okay, teacher. Well, let me give an example because this is the normal structure that we use, guys, okay? I bought, for example, oops, sorry. I bought a ticket, right? I bought a cell phone, guys, let me write it here. Take a look, guys. In this case, the one performing the action, it's me, right? I am performing the action. Teacher, what action? What is the action? Well, the verb, guys. It isn't here bought. So I bought a cell phone. It means that I bought it, right? And I want to emphasize in here that I did it, right? That I bought the cell phone. Okay, teacher, and what is that that says the object? What is the object of the sentence? What is that? Well, guys, remember that normally the object is the one that receives the action from the verb. Teacher, and how do I know the object in a sentence? Well, guys, let me give you a tip. To know the object, you have to ask what to the verb. Take a look, guys. To obtain the object, okay, you have to ask what to the verb. Okay, teacher. So the verb is bought. So what did I bought? Well, guys, you bought a cell phone. So in this case, the cell phone is the object. Okay. But okay, we're going to discuss about the object and all that in a few minutes. Remember that the active voice is the normal sentences that we do, guys, okay, in which we have a doer, someone that does the action, okay? And then we have, guys, the object, which is the one that receives the action, okay? So in this active voice, guys, we emphasize in the person that is doing the action, okay? So we emphasize in the doer. Teacher, what is the doer? Okay, don't worry. Let me show you here. The doer is the one performing the action. The subject, okay? In other words, the one performing the action. Okay, teacher, the subject, guys. For example, in the previous sentence, I bought a cell phone, I. Okay, that's the doer. El que hace la acción, I bought a cell phone, right? That was the sentence from before. Okay, I is the doer. Okay, the person who does the action. Okay, that's why I call them the doer. Okay, okay, I bought a cell phone. This is the doer, right? Okay, just to show you here. Okay, teacher, this is what you call the okay, the active voice, guys. Okay, teacher, normal sentence basically. Yes. But guys, what happens to the other title in there, the passive voice, which is the topic from today, right? Let me close this. Well, guys, let's move on. The passive voice over here, take a look, is, it isn't here. But if you think the object of the verb, the one receiving the action, is more important than the agent, remember that the agent is the subject or the one performing the action, then the object becomes the subject of the sentence. This is called passive voice. Okay, take a look. Take a look, guys. Okay, teacher, wait. The object becomes the subject of the sentence. Let me translate this into a sentence. The first structure, the normal active voice is, I bought a cell phone, right? But in the passive voice, it isn't here, guys, that the object, remember the one receiving the action, teacher, how do you do the object? How do I know the object? Ask what to the verb. What is the object, guys? Yes, a cell phone, exactly. What did I bought? Okay, what did I buy? Sorry, a cell phone. So yes, a cell phone. Okay, this is the object. So it isn't here. The object becomes, take a look, the subject of the sentence. Okay, so I put it at the beginning. Take a look. A cell phone, okay, was bought, okay, by me. Okay, teacher. The passive voice is like in which we switch the order. Yes, something like that. Okay, but I'm going to explain to you about the structure and all that in a few minutes. Take a look, guys. In the active voice, we care about the doer. Remember? In the passive voice, guys, take a look. We care about the receiver. Teacher, what is the receiver? The object, okay, basically. Okay, so take a look, okay? In the passive voice, we care about the object. Okay, don't worry about the structure, guys. I'm gonna show you in a few minutes, okay? And I'm gonna give you a lot of examples and all that, okay? So don't panic. Okay, so take a look, guys. In here, we're focusing on the object, all right? And this is what we call passive voice. Okay, teacher, in the active voice, over here, right? We focus on the subject, the one that you said it is the doer. Yes, the one performing the action, the subject of the verb. But in the passive voice, teacher, you're telling me that the object is the most important part of the sentence. Yes, exactly, guys. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? A cell phone was bought by me. Take a look. The most important part over here is the cell phone. Okay, it's not me, all right? Because, guys, if I erase this, let me erase this. You understand this, the sentence, okay? A cell phone was bought. Yeah, you understand the sentence, right? Okay, let me move over here, guys, because this is just to understand the concepts. Don't worry about the grammar structure and how to use it. Don't worry, we're gonna go to that, okay? By now you understand the difference, okay? Active voice, focus on the doer, and the passive voice, focus on the receiver, okay, the object. Take a look at this sentence, guys, over here. If we see that sentence, guys, what comes to your mind? Think about it. Think about it, okay? Think about it. I imagine, right, that in this moment, what comes to your mind is the people. Maybe in your mind, you have this, they are painting a house, teacher. Or what comes to your mind is they painted the house in past tense, okay? Okay, teacher, yes, this is in past tense, yes. They painted the house, okay? So this is what we call, guys, active voice, because we have a doer, okay? We have a doer, someone that does the action. We focus on the person that does the action, okay? So they painted the house, and this is the normal structure that we know, okay? This is the normal structure that all of you know. Let's go to the other perspective, okay? Let's go over here. Take a look at in here. What comes to your mind? Maybe you're thinking about the house, right? Exactly. You're thinking about the house, about the object, about the receiver. In here, the house was the object, right? What did I paint? That's to obtain the object, right? The house. So in this case, guys, we're going to do a passive voice structure. Take a look because we're thinking about the object, about the house. Take a look. The house. Okay, yes, teacher. In the passive voice, we put it at the beginning, the object. Yes, the object or the receiver becomes the subject. So take a look, guys. The house was painted by them. It isn't here. Okay, teacher. Well, the house was painted by them. Teacher, what is by? Well, by is por, right? Por ellos. Yes. The house was painted by them. Okay. Fue pintada por ellos. All right. But take a look over here, guys. We're giving actually an emphasis on the object in this sentence. Okay. The house was painted by them. But in this sentence over here, guys, the focus is another one. The focus is in they. They painted the house. Okay, do you see the difference? This is active voice. They painted the house, right? We're focusing on the doer. But in the passive voice, we focus on the receiver, the house, okay? The house was painted by them. Ah, cool, all right? We're focusing on the object, on the receiver. Okay, so let's continue over here, guys. Now, the structure. What could you observe from here? Well, teacher, there are some details strange over here because we have like a verb to be, but we have a verb in past tense. So this is a little bit strange. Let's take a look at the structure. Okay, remember that we're going to get into the passive voice. So this is the structure about the passive voice. Number one, guys, is you have to remember, okay, this is like a note, that the object, the receiver, is the most relevant or important part of the sentence, okay, or from the sentence. Remember about that. In the passive voice, the focus of the sentence changes, okay? Teacher, an example? Okay, I'm gonna give an example in this moment. Take a look, this is active voice. The president, okay, the president, a person, we have a doer, right? Someone that does the action. Well, the president opened the building in 1931. On the other hand, guys, we have in here the passive voice. Remember that in the passive voice, well, the object is the relevant part from the sentence. It isn't here, it. And guys, what is it? Well, guys, it is the building, right? Okay, so the building or it was opened by the president in 1931. Do you see how the let's say the focus of the sentence changes? Okay, because we change the perspective or the focus of the sentence. Okay, in this one, in the active voice, we care about the doer, the one performing the action, and in the passive, we care about the object. All right, the receiver. I think that's clear, right? Number two, guys, second step. Okay, take a look at the structure, and we have to be careful about this. By now, guys, we're going to focus on the passive voice in the simple past. Okay, so passive with the simple past and the expression by. Teacher, what is by? What was by? By is por, hecho por alguien. Okay, so take a look, guys. This is the structure. Object. Okay, I told you how to obtain the object. Okay, you ask what to the verb. Okay, so we have the object of the sentence at the very beginning. Then we have the verb to be. Okay, teacher, yes. In past tense. Was or were. Okay, teacher, and was for what? And well, guys, you have to know that, right? You're in the intermediate too, but let me remind you. Okay, don't worry. Was is for the singulars. I was, he was, she was, he was. And where is for the plurals. We were, they were, you were. Okay, just for you to remind you about it. And take a look over here, guys, because yes, I want you to take the list of verbs and take a look. the past participle of the verbs. Teacher, past participle was the third column, right? Yes, the third column of the verbs, guys. Take a look. Okay, teacher, so we need the object, we need the verb to be in past tense, was or were, and we need the past participle of the verb. Yes, and then, guys, we need a by, okay? Here you have what is by, right? This is very common, guys, and this is something that you have seen and listened. For example, normally the lyrics or the books, for example, say this book, all right, the object. Take a look. This book was written, all right, by this author, okay, by, I don't know, this person. Now that you have the book reports, that you're working in the book report, it says, this book, all right, this is the object, right? Okay, this book, okay, yes, verb to be was, okay, because we're talking about this book, it's like it, right? The past participle is written, okay, by whom? Which person? Okay, by this guy, okay? Take a look, all right? So it's a teacher, but what it says in there, okay? Bueno, este libro fue escrito por, okay, this person, okay, this author in there, okay? So this book was written by, for example, guys, this song was written by, okay, this band, okay? Okay, if, for example, what else could be, guys? Let's think about objects. If, for example, let me think about, let me see. It could be, for example, the World Cup. Okay, talking about soccer. Let's imagine. Okay, the World Cup. Okay, take a look, guys. Was or were? Well, we're talking about the World Cup. It is only one, so singular, right? So we say was. Was, and what about the third column of win? So we have win, one and one. So was won by Costa Rica. This is a dream, okay? This is a dream, guys. I'm just inventing, okay? The World Cup was won by Costa Rica. Teacher, what is that? Bueno, guys, la Copa del Mundo fue ganada por Costa Rica. Yes, I'm dreaming, guys. I understand. Okay, don't worry. Okay, but yes, there you have the structure of the passive voice. So take a look, guys. Remember that with the passive voice, we change the focus of the sentence. The most important part is the object, the receiver. Okay, we change the focus of the sentence. Let's take a look at another examples over here. Well, we already read this one, right? It is in here, an American architect designed the building, all right? So an American, remember this is active. We focus on the doer, on the person that does the action. But in the passive voice, we change the focus on the sentence in the object. Okay, so it's in here, it, all right? We're talking about the building, right? So it's in here, it was designed by an American architect. And you know what is by, and you got the idea, okay? So it was designed. Take a look, guys. Was, and the very third column, designed. And the last one, guys, okay? In 1964, the building's owners, it's in here, added color lights to the top, okay? The building's owners. Teacher, what is owners? Well, guys, in Spanish, it's like los dueños, right? Okay, the building's owners added, right, colored lights to the top. This is active voice, guys, because we have doers, okay? This is active because we have doers. We have people in there involved, okay? Owners, the owners, right? But over here, take a look. What is the object in here? Remember, guys, to obtain the object, you ask what to the verb. What did they add it? Or what did they add? Well, guys, color lights, all right? So color lights were added, okay? Teacher, why were? Because we have plural. Okay, color lights were added to the top by the building's owner in 1964, okay? This looks something like this, guys. The active voice looks like this. Okay, this is the active voice. Friends, Okay, we have a doer, right? We have a doer, someone that does the action. France, what? Well, France gave the Statue of Liberty to the United States. This is active voice, guys, because we have a doer. Okay, France gave the Statue of Liberty to the United States. Okay, we focus on the doer. We focus on the subject, on the doer. But remember that in the passive voice, we focus on the object. Okay, so the question is, what was given to the US? Well, this is the object, right? The Statue of Liberty. So in the passive voice we have in here, take a look. The Statue of Liberty, right? This is the object. Yes, and this is the passive voice. So the Statue of Liberty, remember, verb to be was, because we're talking in singular, right? Given, teacher, why given? Not gave, okay? Because given is the third column, the past participle. Okay, so the Statue of Liberty was given to the United States by France. Okay, now guys, maybe you're thinking in this moment, oops, sorry. Maybe you're thinking in this moment, well, teacher, it's not that difficult. It is only to switch the order. You know that I'm not that easy, right, guys? I'm not that easy. Let me tell you that yes and no, okay? But I want to give an example for you like to be more active and to think about it, guys, because that's what I like when you think, when you interact with the grammar, when you use your brains and just start like, oh, okay. Well, why am I saying this, guys? Because maybe you're thinking, yes, I'll switch the order, verb to be and the verb in past participle. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's all. But I want you to understand this. Let's take a look, guys, at one example why this is not only to switch the order. Let me give an example. Take a look at this over here, guys. Okay, now I'm gonna let that. Okay. Over here, guys, I have an example for you. The tickets were sold out. Well sold, guys. The tickets were sold. Okay, guys, this is a passive voice, right? And take a look, guys. We're gonna try to switch, because this is passive voice, into active. But teacher, wait. From passive to active. Yes, guys. Sometimes it's complicated, guys, to change from passive to active. Let me tell you the reason about why this is complicated sometimes. From active voice to passive voice is simple, but from passive voice to active is more complicated. Okay, wait, teacher. Examples. Okay, let's go to the examples. Let me tell you here. This is a passive voice sentence. Okay, in the passive voice, remember that we care about the receiver. Okay, the one receiving the action, the object. Okay, so the tickets were sold, and we have the structure of the passive voice, right? The verb to be in past tense, and sold, which is the third column of past participle of the verbs. Okay, and now, guys, I have a question for you, and just for you to think about it. I know that you are there watching this. How do we change this into active voice? Because remember that the focus of this sentence is the tickets, right? The tickets were sold. Okay, teacher. So if we need to change that into active voice, it is just to switch. Yes, from active to passive is to switch. I imagine that from passive to active is the same. It is to switch in the original order. Well, my question is, or my point is, try to switch this. Remember that from the active voice, right? Because let me write it here, guys. This is active voice, right? We care about the doer. In the passive voice, okay, we care about the receiver. Okay, yes, teacher, we're clear that is passive voice, yes, but we need to change this sentence into active. Let me tell you a secret, guys, and this is something that teachers don't explain sometimes. If you go to what you were thinking about, well, teacher, is just to switch the order, teacher, but there is something missing in here. Algo falta. Algo no cuadra, teacher. No me da el chance de girarlo solamente y listo. All right, yes, right? No está solamente girarlo y volverlo al orden original y hacer una voz activa. So, teacher, what do I do? Well, guys, in this case, we have to invent the doer. Okay, teacher. Yes. Okay, we have to invent the doer, the one performing the action. Okay, guys, remember that the tickets were sold, right? This is passive voice. We're going to create an active voice sentence, a normal sentence, okay? Remember, we need the doer. Where is the doer in here? Where is it? Where is the doer? We don't have. Okay, teacher, so what do? Okay, we have to invent it. Let's invent a subject, guys, or a person that does the action, a doer, a performer. Let's invent it. For example, I don't know, this one, Justin Bieber, okay? Okay, Justin Bieber, guys, what? This is a normal sentence. Remember, Justin Bieber sold the tickets. This is what we call, guys, active voice. This is a normal sentence that we create. Justin Bieber sold the tickets. And this was a passive voice. Teacher, but why was so difficult to go from passive voice to active? Estuvo complicado, ¿verdad? Pasarlo de pasiva a voz activa. Es más sencillo de activa a voz pasiva, guys, ¿ok? Eso es lo que quiero dar a entender. Teacher, pero ahora sí está fácil, porque ahora sí se puede dar la vuelta. Yes, guys, because we have a subject, we have a performer, we have now a doer. Okay, that's why it is easier. So we can do it like this. Okay, the tickets, right? To go to the passive voice. The tickets, right? Because remember that in the passive voice, we care about the receiver, about the one doing the action. So the tickets, okay, let me go over here. The tickets were, okay, because remember that we need the verb to be in the passive voice, were sold by Justin Bieber. Teacher, okay. A little bit tricky, right? Yes, guys, it's a little bit tricky. Take a look. It's easier, right? From active voice to passive voice. Okay, but from passive voice to active voice is more complicated. Okay, because sometimes we have to invent the doer. We have to invent the subject of the sentence. We have to invent the one performing the action. Okay. Well, this is the passive voice, guys, in past tense. Okay. Let me, guys, show you now a small practice that I have for you. Actually, this is in the book. This is the practice that I want you to do, guys. I want you to work on this and take a look. It is in here. Complete the sentences with the simple past passive voice form of the verbs. So basically, guys, this is very easy. Okay, the idea is, well, it says in here, let's do the number one. The 2010 World Cup final. Okay, and we need to change this into passive voice, but we have to complete it. So in here, guys, what do we need for the passive voice? Teacher, the object. Okay, teacher, I don't remember. Well, let's go back. Okay, let's go back. Remember that for the passive voice, this is the structure, right? What do we need? The object. We have the object. We need the verb to be and the verb in past participle. Okay, let's go back. Teacher, let's go to the practice. Okay, so teacher, we have the object over here. Yes, okay, the 2010 World Cup final. Okay, teacher, now we need the verb to be, right? Because it is the second part of the structure. Yes. So was or where? Yes, was, because we're talking in singular, right? Where is for plurals. So was, oh my God, teacher, and what is the, third column for win? Well, guys, we have win, won, and won. So in this case is, the 2000 World Cup final was won by Spain. All right, so you have to use the verb in here to complete the sentence. Okay, was one. Teacher, let's do the number two. Okay, and then we finish. Okay, it's okay. Let's do number two. Okay, this is really easy, guys, because it is only to complete. So the number two says the film Avatar, and take a look in there, guys. We have direct. Es el verbo dirigir, right? The action of dirigir. So the film Avatar. Okay, think about it. Yes, we need the verb to be, right? Avatar is only one, the film. So we say was. Okay, was what? Teacher, what is the third column of direct? Well, let me tell you, it is regular. So it is just to add ed. Was directed by James Cameron. Okay, teacher, this is simple because it is only completing. Yes. Remember, we use was. If it is singular, we use where. If it is, yes. Okay, plural. Okay, so try to complete this, guys. If you want, you can pause the video in this moment. Okay, so try to pause it and try to do the exercise. Okay, we're gonna check this in the class. Okay, so try to pause the video here. Okay, guys, so you pause the video, and over here, guys, take a look. I have a surprise. I have another practice, guys. Okay, but this practice, take a look. We have to change, and take a look over here because we have to change these sentences. Take a look. Change this sentence into passive sentence with by. Okay, so teacher, wait. You are telling me that this sentence is in active voice and we have to change it to passive. Yes, that's right, guys. I'm gonna help you with the first one, okay? According to this guy, it says the sculpture, okay, this guy over here, designed the Statue of Liberty in 1884. Okay, teacher, first of all, for the passive voice, teacher, we need the doer. Sorry, we need the object, okay? The receiver. Yes, we need the object, we need the receiver. Remember to know the object or the receiver. We say, or we ask what to the verb, okay? What did they design? Well, guys, what is designed? The Statue of Liberty, guys. So this is the object, the Statue of Liberty. Okay, we need the verb to be, right? This is the second step. So was or where? Well, the Statue of Liberty is in singular, right? So we say was. Okay, was, and we need the, if you go to the structure, we need the verb in third column. This is regular, so it is just to add ed. Design, and this is right in past tense. So the Statue of Liberty was designed by whom? Well, by the sculptor. Okay, and we write the name. Okay, I'm not gonna write it because of the time. The sculpture, okay, Frederick, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's what you have to do in this moment, guys. Okay, so again, pause the video, okay, and try to work on it, okay, and upload it to the Google Classroom. I'm gonna create an assignment in there, okay? Pause the video and try to do it, okay? Okay, guys, now we're gonna work on a listening that I told you is very, well, let me tell you, it's really interesting actually. Okay, I think it's a little bit complicated, specifically the Machu Picchu information, but I think you're gonna get it. Yeah, probably if you want, you can pause the video and play it twice or three times. You know, as much as you need, right, guys? You have the advantage that this is a video, so you can go back, right, if you want. Well, guys, it's difficult and interesting because it's about some tour guides, okay, from different places, as you can see in there, that they're going to describe very old and well-known, right, famous monuments. And the idea is that we have to take notes about the answers from the different questions that we have in here. So about the first one, you know the place, right? Take a look at the picture. It's in here, who built them? Okay, so take a look, we're talking about this over here. Why? Okay, what's the reason where they were built? All right. Number two, it says, how big is the city? So there's a number that they mentioned. And when was it discovered? you have to take notes about the second day, because it was discovered 2 times, guys. You're gonna see, okay? And in the last one, you're gonna be surprised about how high it is, okay? And about how long is it? Because think about in this moment. Do you have any idea about how long is the Great Wall of China and how high it is? Well, if you don't, you're gonna be surprised. Okay, so let's listen to the audio in this moment, right? So have a paper, have a pencil or a pen or something to take notes in there, and let's listen to the audio in this moment, okay? Let's take a look.
Page 74, exercise 6, listening. Listen to 3 tour guides describe some very old. Take notes to answer the questions below.
Let's take a look.
Then compare with a partner.
Okay, let's take a look.
1. The pyramids. Who built them? Why were they built?
Number 1.
The pyramids were built more than 4,000 years ago by the Egyptians. The most famous ones are on the west bank of the river Nile, outside of Cairo. They were built as burial places for the Egyptian kings. After a king's death, his body was turned into what is called a mummy. This preserved it. The king's mummy was placed inside the pyramid along with treasures.
2.
Number 2.
Machu Picchu. How big is the city? When was it discovered?
Machu Picchu is an Inca city in Peru. Construction of the city started in 1450. The ruins are about 2,400 meters above sea level. The city covers about 13 square kilometers. For centuries, the city was buried in the jungle and wasn't discovered again until 1911. Today, Machu Picchu is one of the most famous tourist attractions in all of South America.
3. The Great Wall of China. Why was it built? How long is it?
The Great Wall of China is the longest structure ever built. It was built to protect one of the Chinese kingdoms. Much of what exists of the wall today was built during the Ming Dynasty in the late 1400s, although some parts of the wall are much older. The wall is about 11 meters high, and a stone roadway runs along the top of it. The main part of the wall stretches for about 3,400 kilometers.
Okay, guys, there you have. If you want to listen one more time, you can do it. Remember, this is a recording, okay? So you can go back to the video and listen one more time if it is necessary, okay? Or 2 or 3 times, okay? So if you want to go back in this moment because I'm going to show you the answers, okay? So I'm going to give you 4 seconds to go back. Okay, I'm going to show you the answers in this moment, guys, okay? Well, guys, here you have the answers. First of all, number 1, the pyramids basically were built by the Egyptians, okay? Take a look, I'm using the passive voice, right? I'm using the topic, yeah, by the Egyptians. That was the answer, right? They were built, what was the reason? Do you remember? Well, they were built, teacher, you're using passive voice again. Yes, guys. Okay, they refers to the object, right? To the pyramids, right? They were built for the Egyptian kings, okay, to preserve their mummies. Okay, something like that is the answer. Okay, you can have something different written, all right, but in a similar way of the idea. Number 2, it says the city covers around 13 square kilometers. That's the answer in there. And number 2 was when was it discovered, right? I told you that it was discovered for the second time, or again, in 1911. All right, so take a look. And the last one, guys, what the most surprising for me, it was built, all right? What was the reason, all right, for this? It was built to protect one of the Chinese kingdoms. That's pretty interesting. And take a look, guys, be surprised. It is around 3,400 kilometers. Yes, 3,400 kilometers. That's insane, guys. It's crazy. That's a lot of kilometers, guys. That's something that I didn't imagine, okay? So there you have the answers, okay? Check it out. Okay, guys, after that audio, well, let me tell you that the passive voice exists, yes, in past tense, or the passive in past, right? As we were discussing before by using by. But let me tell you that we have the passive voice in present simple. Oh my God, teacher. Yes, let's take a look at this conversation over here. It says, I need some information. And take a look at this conversation because this is really interesting. It says, hello. Oh, hello. I need some information. What currency is used in the European Union? Where? The European Union. I think the euro is used in most Europe. All right. And is English spoken much there? I really have no idea. Huh? Well, what about credit cards? Are they accepted everywhere? How would I know? Well, you're a travel agent, aren't you? What? This is a hair salon. You have the wrong number. So the guy was calling, guys, for getting some information for his traveling, and he was calling to a hair salon. All right, so that's crazy. Okay, teacher, you're telling me that the passive voice exists in present simple. Yes, guys, and take a look over here. What currency is used? Ah, ok, profe, antes era was used, era usada, ahora es usada because it is in simple present. That's right. What currency, teacher? What is the currency? La moneda. Right? What currency is used in the European Union? Where the European Union? And take a look at this, guys, because I'm pretty sure that you have seen this title or this sign or this advertisement somewhere. Have you ever seen a title like this? English is spoken here. Yes, teacher, I have seen that in restaurants or some places, around. This is passive voice, guys. We don't care about the doer. No, we care about the language. English, what? Well, English is spoken here, okay? But they summary like that, but it is like this. English is spoken here, okay? But normally in the titles, they put it like this, okay? In the science or advertisement. That's why they use spoken, guys, because spoken, we have speak, spoke, and spoken, all right? Oh my God, teacher, so that's the passive voice, but in simple present. Yes, English is spoken here. Let's take a look at more structures. I think the euro is used in most Europe. Okay, English is spoken. Is English spoken much there? They are accepted everywhere. Take a look. So this is what I'm telling you, guys. Passive without, take a look. Here we don't use by. Okay, teacher. We don't use by, guys. In the simple present passive voice. Teacher, and how does this works? Guys, it's the same mechanic, but with the verb to be in the present simple. Okay, teacher, it's the same mechanic. Yes, guys, let me tell you. Well, the object is gonna be the most relevant part, the receiver, okay? With the structure, okay, teacher, we need the object, right? This is what we discussed before with the passive voice in past, but remember we're here in present. The verb to be, guys, try guess what? Well, in simple present, right? Yes, guys. Teacher, what is the verb to be in simple present? Guys, come on. Am is a are, and you know how to use that. I'm going to explain that. And then the past participle, guys, you know what is it, right? We have discussed it before. And take a look, guys, we don't use by. Okay, we don't normally use by. Okay, it's not commonly used. Okay, teacher, give me example. Give me example. Well, guys, take a look. They speak English in many European countries. In this sentence, is active, right, guys? They, all right. We have a doer. But remember, in the passive voice, we don't care about the doers. We care about the object, about the receiver. So we have in here English. Well, guys, English what? English is spoken in many European countries. As you can see, guys, it's the same mechanic, all right? It's like this switching the order, all right? But we use the present simple. Teacher, what is that? Okay, ellos hablan inglés y acá es como se habla inglés o inglés es hablado. Suena extraño, pero okay, that's what it says in there. They manufacture a lot of cars in Europe. They refers to the companies, right? We have a doer, the companies, but in here it says a lot of cars, right? We have the object, okay, the receiver. A lot of cars are, because we're talking about cars, right, in plural. So a lot of cars are manufactured in Europe. Okay, take a look, guys. Okay, teacher, so it works in the same way, but it's in simple present. Yes, guys, normally this is to talk about normal things that occur in countries. For example, guys, let's talk about our country, Costa Rica. And let's think about simple things. For example, the coffee. Coffee is an object, right? So we can create a passive voice with this in the simple present. ¿Qué sembramos acá, guys? Coffee normally, right? So coffee is, vean que no estoy utilizando un subject, guys. I'm not saying Costa Ricans or we. No, I'm saying the coffee. I'm using the object, all right? The doer, the receiver, sorry, the receiver, okay? The coffee is grown. Okay, teacher, the coffee is grown, okay? In Costa Rica, okay, by, no, remember that we don't use by, right? Okay, the coffee is grown in Costa Rica. And we can add more information, okay, in there, okay? So if you want. Okay, the coffee is grown in Costa Rica. Or we can say this, all right? Let's imagine that we're talking about a coffee. So we can say that, hey, this coffee is grown in Costa Rica. All right, este café se crece en Costa Rica, o se da en Costa Rica, okay, se hace en Costa Rica. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, it's delicious actually. Okay, so take a look, este café se cosecha en Costa Rica, right? So teacher, that's the passive voice in present simple, exactly. Guys, let's think about another one. For example, over here with Intel in the past, microchips, and take a look, we have microchips. All right, so teacher, that's in plural. Yes, microchips are, we can say, what, guys? I'm not sure if created, but let's try created, okay? Are created, guys, okay? I'm using the past participle, are created in Costa Rica, okay? Or some, let's try some, because not all of them, right? Some Intel microchips, okay, are created in Costa Rica, okay? Algunos microprocesadores de Intel son creados en Costa Rica o diseñados o ensamblados incluso. Okay, so this is the passive voice in simple present, guys. What is my idea with this lesson? My idea is that you get the idea about what is the passive voice. And then, okay, that we have the passive voice in past tense and we have the active voice, the passive voice in simple present, okay? That we have both past tense, simple present, okay? And okay, over here, guys, I have a small practice that I want you to do, okay? Let's do the first line, okay? This is something similar than the exercise before, okay? So for example, in here it says many crops, and this is with the simple present, okay? So many crops, all right? So we say is or are or am. Come on, right? We say are. And grow, guys, hey, go to the list, Google, all right? What is the third column of past participle of grow? We have grown. Okay, teacher, many crops are grown in Taiwan. Yes. Okay. Some crops, all right? Some crops. And we have in here, guys, take a look, consume, think about it. What about consume? Okay. What about that one? Well, you know what is consume, right? It's almost like in Spanish. Okay, we can say, for example, guys, over here, are, right? Because we're talking about crops. And we have consume is a regular verb. So we say consumed because it's irregular. Okay, teacher, but what is crops? Well, guys, crops are los cultivos, all right? So many crops are grown in Taiwan. Okay, vamos a ver, muchos cultivos, ok, se dan en Taiwán. Algunos cultivos son consumidos, vamos a ver, localmente, locally. Okay, some crops are consumed locally. Here you have the answers. Okay, so many crops are grown in Taiwan. Some crops are consumed locally. I want you to work on this exercise, guys, and I want you to work on this one. And we check it in the class, okay? I want you just to work in the structures, okay? And we're gonna practice a lot in the class, so don't worry about the practice in there, okay? Because we're gonna discuss about this topic in the class, okay? I have another material with a lot of practice for you. And my idea is for you to watch this, to have the idea, and the next class we discuss a little, okay? We clarify, any misunderstood, or we clarify any question that you may have. We check the practices, and then we continue working. Normally, you know that I love team working, so probably we'll work in couples or something like that in other exercises, and then in a speaking activity that I have for you, and we continue with the book reports and the things that are missing in there. So guys, any question about the video, send it to the WhatsApp. Okay, that's the reason why we have a WhatsApp group. I'm so sorry for the last class. I know that there was a mess in there, guys. I hope that you get the idea about the passive voice. Any question, send me a message. As usual, guys, it's a pleasure to teach you. And any question, just send it. All right. Bye bye, and take care. All right. Enjoy your weekend.